Madonna made her first real mark in cinema 17 years ago with Desperately Seeking Susan, a well-received romantic comedy, much of which was shot here in New York's East Village. Since then, Madonna hasn't exactly enjoyed a glorious screen career. Consequently, hopes weren't that high for her latest big-screen adventure, a remake of the Italian classic Swept Away, directed by her husband Guy Ritchie. Manoush Zamarodi reports.
Come on to my house.
Madonna and her director husband Guy Ritchie were swept away with the idea of remaking the Lina Wertmüller 1974 art house classic, and they wanted to work together.
I remember seeing it years and years ago, and I always loved that film. So, and Guy hadn't seen it, so he was curious, and we'd already done a video together, and we already made a BMW commercial together, so it kind of made sense that we would work together on a film perhaps one day, although there was no specific plan. And then we went and we watched that film, and Guy really liked it.
I wanna hold the hand
Okay, Rick, up. All right, that's enough. I said that's enough.
There was many advantages to working with a wife. That's why we had a shorthand. She's very professional, and I like to think I am. So, you know, it made life much easier. She's not chippy. She's not sensitive about me screaming at her in front of everyone. And a bit of that went on, but she didn't rise to it, and I didn't really mean it. So everything unfolded very nicely.
Keepy.
I think I'm going to kill that woman.
In the film, Madonna plays a rich and spoiled older woman who is tamed by an Italian deckhand when the two are stranded on a desert island.
Number one, don't ever insult me again. Number two, if you want food, you will have to earn it. What are you doing?
Sorry. The character's transformation drew Madonna to the role.
I see that she was a very unhappy person in the beginning, who probably did what most people did in life, or valued what most people value in life, and that is, you know, having lots of money, marrying a rich man, wearing nice clothes, being beautiful, that sort of thing, looking good, being thin, exercising a lot, all the superficial things. And then, but no soul, no inner happiness, no true happiness. In the second half of the movie, she gets all of those things taken away from her. And when that happens, she's able to kind of grow on the inside and become a human being.
What's wrong with you, madam? You're saved. You should be happy.
Oh, madam, is it now, huh? Changed our tune now that we're on land, haven't we?
But despite the big name on the marquee, the film hasn't been heavily promoted. There have been no major premieres, possibly because early negative reviews squelched enthusiasm. Critics say Madonna is just playing herself.
What?
I want that fish, so sell it to me. I'll give you $100. 200.
The queen of pop culture hasn't managed to make much of a mark on cinema. After showing early promise in 1985 with Desperately Seeking Susan, Madonna has been desperately seeking the right role to convince audiences she's a real actress. Her last movie, The Next Best Thing, certainly didn't do the trick.
And yet, of course, people will be drawn to see Swept Away. Audiences may not have big expectations, but they may not be able to resist seeing Madonna in action, in beautiful clothes, and on a beautiful beach.
Say, love me, leave me, let me be lonely.
I think the scenes in Italy were really pretty, and I liked her clothes in the beginning. But I think at times the movie dragged, and the ending was kind of, didn't really have any punch, the ending.
She's about the same as she is in all of her movies. I mean, she's okay. The main thing is, though, I think she just enjoys showing off her body. To me, that's the main thing of the whole movie, is showing off her body, so.
Someone is you.
Vanity Fair writer Stephen Daly has his own theories about why Madonna doesn't suit filmmaking like she does music making.
I think Madonna is probably at her best when she's a control freak. I assume she's like that in the studio, when she's working with collaborators, writers, musicians, all the rest of it. And in film, you cannot be a control freak unless you're the director and the producer. And she's neither, she's just an actress.
But Madonna will be back. In November, she appears in the new Bond film, Die Another Day. It's a smaller role than Swept Away, and perhaps better suited to the larger-than-life star.
I can't believe I found that.
The original 1974 Lina Wertmüller film wasn't exactly a barrel of laughs. It depicted a battle of the sexes that would almost definitely be politically incorrect by today's standards, in which a woman falls in love with a man after he almost rapes her. This new film doesn't work. Madonna manages to adequately portray the rich bitch, but she exposes her acting limitations. She can't convey the emotional transformation her character undergoes once she's on the island and humbled by the bearded sailor. The sexual aggression that was troublesome for many in the original is still there, but it's been toned down. And without Madonna as an actress being able to signal her character's inner journey, the intense love affair that follows comes over as silly and makes little sense. The exposition isn't helped by Guy Ritchie's direction. He resorts to fantasy sequences and musical interludes to spice things up. The original was spiky and potent, even if its sexual politics were aggressive. This new version is tepid and, after a while, quite boring. Lina Wertmüller's Swept Away, with its leftist, non-feminist politics, was a product of its time. It may not have been the best candidate for a remake.
See, you've got your dancing shoes on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Talking movie.